Hello and welcome to Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. It's Tuesday, a rainy Tuesday, so of course the mood might be dour, but we're here to uplift you just a little bit with some of the most important sports news from around the world. We'll begin with the South Africa match as the Banyana edged the Super Falcons 2-1 in the opening match of Group C of the 12th Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco yesterday. In the process, picking all 3 points and shooting to the top of the pool. It was a somewhat balanced first 45 minutes with both teams unable to achieve any breakthrough. But South Africa were up 2-0 within 2 minutes of the hour mark after Jermaine Seoposenwe hooked the ball into the Nigeria defense to get a clear chance to beat goalkeeper Tochukwu Oluchi from close range. That's after great work by Natalie Sane, who beat hard-working Ashley Plumtree with classy footwork on the edge of the Nigeria area and then sent the striker on her way. The cheers and backslapping on the Banyana bench had hardly died down when, after a nifty exchange of passes in the middle, Michelle Alozie was beaten with a long ball on the Nigeria right. Hilda Magaya shot past onrushing Tochukwu Oluchi. When it comes to the Nigerian teams, we're often asked the question, when they lose against teams that they expected to go up against and handsomely win, or at least put up much more of a fight, is it complacency that always seems to seep in? I have my guest today, Mudashiru Shittu, who is going to come on and possibly give us his impressions of what was lacking in the match. Should he be available soon, I'm sure he'll probably agree with me, or he might disagree, but we'll see. Regardless, we have to move on to the Barcelona transfers as the Catalan club have agreed a deal to sign Denmark defender and free agent Andreas Christensen. The La Liga club announced on Monday, July 4th, hours after Ivory Coast midfielder Frank Kessie also joined on a free transfer from AC Milan. Christensen will sign a contract with Barcelona until June 2026, and his buyout clause will be set at 500 million euros. The Catalan club said in a statement. The 26-year-old centre-back helped Chelsea win the Champions League in the 2020-2021 season, as well as the FIFA Club World Cup and the UEFA Super Cup in 2021. Christensen, who has 56 caps for Denmark, became a free agent after his contract with Chelsea expired last month. Kessie has also signed a 4-year deal and has the same buyout clause as Christensen. The Ivory Coast midfielder left AC Milan at the end of his contract in June after helping the Italian club win their first Serie A title in 11 years last season. Barcelona came second in La Liga last season, finishing behind rivals Real Madrid. Now, Mudashiru Shittu, welcome. I want to go back to the Nigerian match, but briefly, let's talk about these transfers that Barcelona have managed to get one over on many teams who would have found the likes of Kessie a valuable addition and would have had to pay a premium if they had wanted to get him in any other year. How big an impact does this prove for Barcelona, given their financial woes? The impression last year was that it was going to be difficult for them to recruit, to encourage players, to find Barcelona as a place where they could be prosperous. Now they've managed to convince players like Kessie, players like Christensen, and they're possibly on the verge of buying Rafinha underneath the noses of Chelsea. It seems to me like Barcelona haven't lost that luster and players are still very much attracted to them, even though we keep hearing of possible wage cuts.
Thank you very much. For now and the future to come, Barcelona will always be a desired destination for any player. The pedigree, the tradition, and everything the club has had in the past, regardless of the financial status or the financial not matching up, they still are a destination to go to by any club because they've won all what it takes to win. So it's not surprising to me that we still have clubs going, players going to that club because they're always wanting to win things. Why don't you go to Barcelona? They are the top two clubs in Spain after Real Madrid or it's Real Madrid. So there's always a Champions League guarantee. There's always a league or a Copa del Rey guarantee for every club and any player that goes there. So to me, most times we need to be careful. What they say about the financial book most times does not reflect what the balance sheet is. We might say they might not be able to do this and all that. Meanwhile, this is coming after the season of Saudi, the season after Saudi, and Saudi needs to make a statement of intent, a statement that shows.
It seems to me like Laporta, the president of Barcelona, he's perhaps doing better than expected in his efforts to sign players for Xavi. And come the end of the summer, we might have a Barcelona that is well stocked and capable of competing with Real Madrid next season. After all, they still have the inclination. They're still intending to go after Bernardo Silva from Man City. This is still a team that is now gaining momentum in the transfer market. How impressive does that speak of Laporta's work having taken over since?
Yeah, Saudi seems to be the most frequent player in Barcelona for a very long time. And Laporta, making sure that they have a very good season, will speak well of the club and also of Xavi. It would not be so interesting if they don't go into the market. And let's not forget, they still have the likes of Busquets, Gavi, Pedri, Nico, and De Jong. All these guys still have a place in the midfield. So to me, it's a statement of intent. Now that we want our own guy, our own coach, our own person, Xavi is here, we have to do everything possible to ensure that they win. And this is a little bit different from the usual Barcelona in the past. They have to go with academic players. It's not as if they're putting away the academic players, but they're making a purpose of intent that yes, next season they're going to strive for the league.
Back to the South Africa-Nigeria match, I want to get your opinion on what went wrong, quickly if you could.
Yeah, I think we have a monopoly. I think it's not our fault. We do think we have a monopoly of women football in this time. The monopoly has to be a winner all the time. I don't think there's anything wrong. The only thing that's wrong is that other footballing nation, women footballing nation in Africa, has risen to the occasion. Let's not forget some months back in the Mobolaji Unicon Stadium that we couldn't win a tournament that was organized in Nigeria here. And that shows that we'll probably be living now lost glory of trying to make sure that when it comes to female football, we are winning. But nevertheless, this loss does not mean that we will not get to the final. It doesn't mean anything. It only means that football is always football, anytime, any day. This is not to push away the Super Falcons aside. This is not to say that they are going to win, but this just means that women football in Africa has risen to the occasion.
So you believe this might just be a blip for the Super Falcons, even though the competition in women's football has gotten stiffer?
Yes, definitely. That's why I said that's what is stiffer. This might just be a wake-up call, and because they've really conquered the female football for a very long time. It probably doesn't mean that they will not get to the final. It's just a bad day in the office. Two things. in the office. Secondly, other female football nation in Africa has risen to the occasion. So it is not those era of we are yet to be. No, it's an era that we need to do much better than we have been doing
But
in the
what
past.
I do want to get your analysis of how well the South Africa team did, because it seemed to me like they managed to create a lot of good football in the offensive areas for themselves, and they cut open the Super Falcons' defense on a number of occasions. How far do you think they might go?
Yeah, it's a very good win for Bayana. I need to let you know that it's very good in the sense that beyond the tactics, it's a bragging right for both of them. He also shows that with the players they have, the goals from Jamin and also from Ida has proven to show that these players have gotten the tactical ability. Perhaps this might be a paradigm shift from attention. But a lot of people said that this is not something to worry about. But I think it's something to worry about because it's gradually taking away the supposed right of the Super Eagles. But tactically, I think both sides did the right thing. I'm not going to say that there's something wrong with the Super Eagles and with the Super Falcons, or there was something so spectacular about the Bayana. It's just that the South Africa edged them, and it only shows more often. I don't know why we are. This is not the first time I let you to know that perhaps that there's a win against us now against the Super Bayana. Now winning less in 4 games. 4 games, and we only think that we can do better because the media is always paying attention on the Super Falcons and all that. They need to also pay attention that other footballing nation, women football nation in Africa has done so well. So we only hope that let's see what will happen on Thursday against Botswana and also Burundi. Obviously, you can accept the Burundi or the Botswana side do something, we'll probably be saying the Bayana going so far, or it might even be a final for both of us at the end of the tournament when the final comes.
All right. Let's move on to some more transfer news. As Christian Eriksen has verbally agreed to join Manchester United, according to reports in the British media. Eriksen, 30, made a remarkable return to top-flight football when he signed for Brentford earlier this year. His career appeared over when he suffered a cardiac arrest while playing for Denmark in the European Championships in 2021. He was released by Inter Milan as he was unable to play in Italian football because he had a cardioverter defibrillator implanted as a result of the cardiac arrest. But he signed for West London club Brentford in February and scored once and laid on a string of assists as the Premier League newcomers stayed up with ease. If Eriksen does sign for United, it will give new manager Erik ten Hag more midfield options for his first season in charge.
There's one thing that is constant about Eriksen. You can't agree that for me. He's a very talented player, no doubt about it. His exploit in Tottenham is top notch. He is someone that can really control the midfield. It reminds me, this idea of what Montreal can do in the midfield or what he can do up front. And it's a very good one for the coach of Manchester United to sign him. So no doubt it's going to, and this seems to be like a dream country for him because we don't expect that incident that happened. You see how they club like the top flight club like Manchester United signing him, and I think with De Jong, I think the midfield of Manchester United will be very superlative. We also forget that Pogba has left, Machika and Mata.
The major issue for the Man United midfield, though, has been the lack of a recognizable, solid defensive midfielder. Eriksen is a great option, and if Erik Ten Hag ends up playing a 4-3-3 formation, having him in midfield with Bruno Fernandes can be a very useful option. Having that much creativity to generate chances for their strikers and forwards. But the defensive midfield position is still very much lacking. And before this summer, it was already estimated that Man United needed about 6, maybe even 7 players to rebuild the squad. They've lost about 4 players, with Cavani leaving, with Matic leaving, Mata leaving, and it seems to me like they're so far behind the curve in terms of their ambitions. And now we're hearing that Ronaldo, because of the lack of movement in the transfer market, is willing to leave. How much more damage will the exit of Ronaldo bring to this Man United team?
Yeah, I don't think if they do well in the windows that they'll feel the impact of Ronaldo leaving Manchester United and not diminishing his impact in the season back. But I'm just telling you that if you have an Eriksen and Ferdinand and other good impact, because we know that he also, as a coach, will also make sure that you do so well. This is an area that every board member needs to support him. So I don't think it is going to be total of that. But why? Is because both Bruno and Eriksen are capable of playing in the deep midfield role and also capable of doing it on playing the 10. And that gives him more option in the midfield. It's not just them. Because, if Ronaldo is going to leave, I tell you, he has agreed to leave, that materialize. I don't think Manchester, because this is a new beginning, and a new beginning they'll be maturing there are, and this will put behind the era of Ronaldo. No doubt, if Ronaldo has stayed or is staying, they would have been a very good option. But nevertheless, this seems to be like a new era for Manchester United, because this is like an era, this should now say, should be like a major era after Alex Ferguson.
All right, let's move on, Muda. An angelic Nick Kyrgios reached his first Grand Slam quarterfinal for 7 years when he recovered from a slow start to beat steady American Brandon Nakashima in 5 sets on Wimbledon Centre Court on Monday, July 4th. With Kyrgios' bad-tempered Court 1 victory over 4th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas still the talk of the town, the Australian was on his best behavior in front of the Royal Box as he ground out a 4-6, 6-4, 7-6-2, 3-6, 6-2 win. Unseeded Chilean Christian Garin awaits in the last 8 after edging out Kyrgios' compatriot Alex de Minaur in a 5-set battle, offering Kyrgios a golden opportunity to surpass the quarterfinal run at Wimbledon on his debut in 2014 when he stunned Rafa Nadal. Asked about facing Garin, he said, "I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to need a glass of wine tonight for sure." After the mayhem and toxic atmosphere of Saturday, when Kyrgios was accused by Tsitsipas of being a bully, he let his tennis do the talking against the 20-year-old Nakashima, barely uttering a word in anger throughout a contest that contained few of the fireworks usually associated with the Australian. Thank you, Mudashiru, for joining us today, and to everyone at home. I thank you for joining Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. My name is Mikhail Tinubu. Remember, life is never boring with some sports. Have a wonderful day.